In the standard 8.EE.7b, where we are solving linear equations with rational number coefficients, including equations whose solutions require expanding expressions using the distributive property and collecting like terms, there's a possibility where we may be presented with a problem like this, where a person is trying to solve a specific equation and all of their work is shown, and what you're trying to figure out is where the mistake is made. So you're trying to select, did they make the mistake in step 1 or step 2 or step 3 or step 4? In other words, you're looking for the place where they made their first mistake, and then you're supposed to enter the correct equation for that specific step where they made their mistake. So how we should attempt this is we should start by writing our original equation that this person was given down in our work area. So let's do that. And of course, this one problem sort of summarizes that entire standard where we're going to have to use the distributive property. We're going to have to collect like terms. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got a negative times a negative 1w, which is a positive 1w or just a positive w. We then have a negative times a negative 2 right there. This is where we really need to be careful. That is a negative times a negative, so that becomes positive 2. And then we have minus 5. You, of course, don't distribute the negative to the negative 5 or the minus 5 because that minus 5 is not within the parentheses. And then we can just write down the right-hand side again. Now is the part where we would gather our like terms. But before we do that, we really should look up here and make sure that our step 1 looks exactly like that, and it does. So this person did not make a mistake in their first step. So let's go ahead and gather our like terms. So a positive 2 and a negative 5 make negative 3. And of course, nothing to gather or collect with the positive w. On the right-hand side, once again, we only have constants to collect together and nothing to combine with the negative 4w. So we have a negative 3 and a positive 2. That makes minus 1. So now we're going to look at step 2 compared to up here, and clearly that is where the person made their mistake, at step 2. And then we are supposed to write in this area, so we would select step 2 right here. And then in this area right here, we're going to write down what that part should really look like, because it says enter a correct equation for the step that you chose. In other words, what it really should be. And this is what it really should be. So we should be writing that in that area right there.